globalization has proven to be detrimental to societies because it has contributed to the spread of disease in areas such as trade, transportation, and agriculture. Transportation through land, air, and sea have allowed for people to travel across the world in large volumes and speeds. A historical example of this was during the Spanish flu pandemic, where a surge in the number of infected individuals was caused by millions of soldiers coming back to their home countries after the war. This was spread faster through more efficient transportation systems, such as trains. Many healthcare facilities were stressed as they were not able to provide adequate medical resources and personnel to care for the infected. This was demonstrated through the overcrowding in hospitals and makeshift facilities being set up to accommodate for the sick. In more recent time, the COVID-19 outbreak has spread at breakneck speeds through air travel, which demonstrates how intermodal transportation effectively increases society's vulnerability to pandemics. In addition, the growing interdependence of the world's economy will increase the devastating impact pandemics will have on societies, with travel and international trade restrictions slowing economic activity and consequently contributing to financial instability worldwide through unemployment, the disruption of the supply chains, and creating economic disparity for people in developing countries. Moreover, in many instances, global industries such as agriculture have produced many of the world's more recent outbreaks. To name a few, the 2009 influenza H1N1 pandemic, or more commonly known as swine flu, the 2020 avian influenza outbreak, and the 1999 Malaysian Nipah epidemic, which came from pigs. Overall, people suffer more greatly because of agricultural practices at the global scale, as well as the growing interdependence in the world's economy contributing to the impact of pandemics.
The Spanish flu began in American training camps during World War I. The soldiers trained at the camps were sent to Europe to fight, where they then infected other allies and even other Central Power soldiers. Spain became the first country where the virus made headlines, leading it to be called the Spanish flu. The flu was not too lethal at the time, so doctors did not worry about it and assumed it was just seasonal. Near the end of the war, the virus became more deadly and the race started to make a vaccine. Doctors told citizens to stay indoors if sick to slow the spread of the virus. Many countries closed their borders, but it was too late for most of them. Eventually, the flu died down as a result of natural herd immunity, but not before killing up to 50 million people. COVID-19 began as an epidemic in China in December of 2019, before rapidly spreading throughout Asia through flights. It reached North America within 3 weeks of the first reports, and it had spread to nearly every country in the world by March of 2020. Government decided to force people to wear masks in public places and to quarantine if they're sick in order to slow the spread. This led to many people losing jobs as they could not go to work because most places were closed down. Most countries closed their borders, which stopped global trade and destroyed the global economy. The virus stayed around long enough for a vaccine to be developed, and the pandemic started declining after that. Even though the death toll was only a few million, the world economy was completely shattered.
Pandemics are large outbreaks of infectious disease that affect entire countries or continents. They are not limited to one region like epidemics, but instead spread quickly across borders and can last anywhere from months to years. While pandemics are generally public health events, they also influence global politics, economies, and the flow of everyday life. A pandemic begins when a new virus emerges that people have little to no immunity to. Because the human population has not encountered this virus before, it spreads quickly and can overwhelm hospitals and healthcare systems. Examples of this include the 1918 Spanish flu and the more recent COVID-19 pandemic. Historically, pandemics have changed the flow of society. For example, the Black Death in the 1300s led to big changes in Europe's economy and labor system. In the same way that COVID-19 impacted almost every part of life, from school closures to job losses, and how governments handle emergencies. At the same time, pandemics have pushed towards progress. The spread of diseases has led to the development of vaccines, emergency healthcare systems, and global health organizations. Today, the world is more connected than ever, meaning a virus can spread faster, but it also means people can share information, resources, and medical aid quicker than ever before. Pandemics are part of history, and they prove how fragile and adaptable societies can be. And knowing the effects of pandemics helps better prepare for the ones that have yet to come.
For centuries, humanity has battled infectious diseases. Some we've conquered while others still pose a significant risk. But if we could stop these diseases before they have a chance to spark a pandemic, the answer lies in one powerful concept: herd immunity. Pandemics are not relics of the past. They can and do emerge when we let our guards. However, when enough people receive vaccinations, an invisible shield is created, a shield that stops the spread of diseases before they can take hold. Herd immunity works by ensuring that a large part of the population is vaccinated, which in turn contains and minimizes outbreaks. This collective defense is especially critical for those who remain vulnerable. The very young, the elderly, and those with compromised immune systems are most vulnerable, as we've seen with COVID-19. But protecting lives requires more than individual action. It demands that our leaders take immediate steps. Political figures must invest in vaccine research and development, not as a cost, but as a critical investment into public safety and societal resilience. The battle against pandemics starts where healthcare access is limited. By increasing public health efforts in developing areas, we not only save lives locally, but also secure a safer global community. Preventative action in every corner of the world is our best defense against the next outbreak. The goal of herd immunity transcends personal health. It's about acting together for a greater good. Vaccinate, advocate, and invest in research. Our united efforts today will pave the way for a healthier tomorrow. Scientific studies and historical evidence attest to the effectiveness of herd immunity in mitigating the spread of infectious diseases. Extensive research from global health organizations consistently validates that high vaccination rates drastically reduces the risk of pandemics. This is clear proof underscores the urgency of policymakers to invest in vaccine research and for every individual to play the part in safeguarding our community. This is our call to action. Vaccinate and create herd immunity.